some good American music. Hey, you're tuned into the Viz Show. I am just jacked from my road trip I was just on. I went to Virginia with my friend, one of my best friends, Mandy, and we went and saw Manson and Rob Zombie. I gotta tell you, man, I haven't seen either bands before, and it was awesome. I got Jim Fannon here with me in the house. He just came straight from church right into my Manson Fest. Isn't that lovely?
Beautiful, yeah.
Do you feel great?
Went from rock and roll pretty church to a different kind of rock and roll.
Oh yeah, baby. It's a good rock and roll.
Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming, Jim.
Can you hear me? Chuck, test.
Oh, I can hear you.
I don't have any headphones, so I don't know. But, and we're filming it too. I'm going to put it up on YouTube later. And then
Are
from
you?
here, yeah, I was
Oh,
at church at 7:15 doing the video switching. I got 5 cameras I switch up. I call it rock and roll pretty church because it's a rock and roll show and everyone's kind of pretty.
Oh.
So I just switched the first service and then I did a little behind the scenes video and not up on stage, to the stage. And then here, and then I'm going to tape a podcast I haven't done one in a while. A few weeks anyways, it's just been lazy in the summer and,
I don't
no
blame you.
motivation, man. And
I know.
So I'm going to go back and do a podcast at 4 o'clock with, I can't remember who the guest is, but he's got a local guy.
Yeah?
I'll figure it out by the time we get to the
Yeah.
next segment.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to playing some local music and talking with you. And see,
Yeah.
you were on the show a couple times when I was at 610.
Crazy.
And did you listen to the shows?
I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, and it's strange because this new podcast format and internet radio, there's no breaks, or there's no commercials. So
Which is great.
the cadence is off because you're not running for 9 minutes and then wrapping up and say, okay, after this word, we'll be back to talk to Aaron
Yeah.
Viz. So there's a real cadence and rhythm, and it's almost musical when you're hitting the breaks on terrestrial radio. And when you do long form interviews and when you don't have regular breaks on internet radio, I haven't been on too many. I was on with Rafiq, one of the first shows on the station.
And
I'm just glad to be invited back. So I
I'm
thought I'd
glad-
never be on the show again. On the station
well,
again.
we used to play the music outside on Queen Street.
Right.
I don't know if it was my fault. I doubt it. I don't know. It is Sunday afternoon, and I would play a lot of stuff like what I play. I play punk rock, and we don't hold back here on the Viz Show.
Well, I think there's a fear that people would be just launching themselves through the picture windows and storefronts, and just because the music gets in their head and they lose their mind.
I thought it was fantastic that they played music outside. Yeah. Oh, it was great. We were so connected to the outside world on the streets.
Right.
Right.
Was.
Yes. Maybe we'll bring it back. Can we bring that back, please?
As soon as you're done, they're going to bring it back.
Yeah. Who's in charge of that?
The Viz Show's on.
Yeah.
Can we turn the street and the dance studio off, please, just to make sure that G-rated, baby, G-rated.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for
and
being here.
And you just coming off a trip too.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm still living I'm still blood buzzing from it all.
Mm-hmm.
I love, we drove, obviously, so we drove to Columbus, Ohio. We stayed with our friend who is so awesome and gracious. We actually met him on our first trip, and he's a bartender there, and he's a collector guy. So this dude, Todd, hi Todd, he has how you collect band t-shirts and stuff? He has a whole wall of rolled t-shirts and patches. He has posters that are worth so much money, like Iggy Pop, Clockwork Orange, all over his house. He has all these books, and I was just like, I love your house, I love your stuff. Him and his girlfriend collect all these things. They go to concerts, they travel, that's what they do. And so in the morning I was looking through this book they had. It was called Creepy Ohio or something like that, and I saw this picture of this huge ass basket. And I was like, I want to go to that basket. It's a huge basket. And he's like, that's 20 minutes away. We can go. I'm like, yes! So that was my goal. The first day there was to go in front of this basket and see the basket. And we did see the basket. And it was awesome.
How about Manson, though? Is it as
Manson?
insane as you think it's going to be, like the show?
Oh, man. Okay,
Did they have a sideshow and all that kind of stuff?
First off, concerts in America are a little different. The people are different, So Like the security was crazy. I was a little cautious about security. I was like, okay, Mandy, let's find the exits. Because if we ever need to get the heck out of here, we're going to run. And, because you never know. We're in the States. Everyone has a gun because it's their right? Manson came on, and he is, you could tell, well, first off, he said, this is where my mother was born, in West Virginia, in Huntington, West Virginia. So you knew he was really like feeling it. He was in it. Local crowd. And he was spitting a lot. He was doing the little nose, like, snot thing.
What?
And he got the rag and he threw it out into the crowd, wiped his nose and threw it to the crowd, stuff like that. Yeah, he was a little, he's probably having a good time. And he's all about Manson. He got out there, he changed his outfits a couple times. It was heavy, it was dark, it was about drugs, it was about...
He's drug free though, isn't he?
I don't think so.
I thought he was straight.
Maybe if he is,
then... I thought he was not a drug guy. It's like you always think Alice Cooper was too, but Alice Cooper was always sober.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
I don't know, but Manson seemed a little, I don't know. He was just Manson. He came out on these big, for Sweet Dreams, he came out on these big stilts.
Yeah.
He was all creepy and stuff.
Yeah.
But, okay, so here's the thing with me in crowds. I don't like crowds. The older I get, I don't like crowds in concerts too much because someone around me kept farting and it was so disgusting. I was like, God damn it. Like, if you go to a concert, don't fart. You're like in a crowd of people, man. Have some courtesy. Like, but there's all these big guys that like Manson and they're standing there and there's this guy drunk beside me and I was just like, oh God, it's a little uncomfortable. So for Rob Zombie, we stood in the back and I just had a blast. And then I look and there's Rob Zombie. He was behind me. He came all the way out, all the way behind me and I touched his arm. And Rob Zombie was the best. I danced. My friend Mandy videotaped me dancing practically every single song. And I was just having a blast. I was like, I came all the way here. I'm not just standing there. I was shaking it, headbanging, whatever the hell. I had a cup and I kicked it at one point.
Cup kicker.
Yeah, I was a cup kicker. And there's videos on Facebook if you want to check it out. So it was a great time. And my neck, I'm feeling it in my neck today a bit.
Oh, from slamming around?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I'm not 22 anymore.
Well, you're not much older than that.
Yeah.
Flatter the host endlessly is my policy. I've been a guest for a long time.
Yeah.
So you drove down and drove back?
Yes,
you just
we
went
did.
down for the show?
We went down for the show. So we left Thursday night and we left, hold on. Wait. We left Thursday night and we drove. And so we just listened to the radio for the whole way up. And we must have heard Billy Joel 10 times. The whole, there and back, we kept hearing Billy Joel. And it was like the theme of our trip, Billy Joel. It was awesome. Yeah, so we were just singing and dancing in the car and,
I seen a clip of Billy Joel the other day. He was at Madison. He doesn't leave Madison Square Gardens, I don't think. MSG, so he said, doing a show. Mm-hmm. Bill and Hillary Clinton are in the audience. And he says, and this song's for my friend Bill Clinton. Then he put him up on the screen and they all booed him.
They all booed him.
All cheers turned it. But I mean, if you hear the video, it's kind of like a mix of boos and cheers. But
right.
the cheer, they were like, oh yeah, boo. And I hope I don't really care actually if he goes down with Jeffrey Epstein. Take them both with you.
Okay, so Jim's gonna get political.
I'm not political. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. You said Billy Joel. I said, he got mentioned.
And you said Bill Clinton.
He mentioned him the other day. Everything's politics.
We can talk politics a little bit. We might not agree on a couple of things. But I'm going to play some Billy Joel because, yeah, there we go.
So we're off now?
Yep.
You sure?
Yes.
Not sure.
matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Everybody's talking about the new sound, funny, but it's still rock and roll to me.
Now, when you're driving with your best friend in Virginia, me and Mandy love Hole, okay? We listen to a lot of Hole on our drive, and I loved it. We sang every single song. Road trips are kind of my thing. I think they're a lot of people's things. They're so fun, and Mandy was gracious enough to drive the whole way so I could just sit there and sing, okay? Oh yeah. So here's some Hole. Fuck yeah. That was some Hole from the album Live Through This, which we listened to about a million times during our road trip. Are you a fan of Courtney Love, Jim?
Not really.
No?
I mean, I know her voice. It's like, is that Hole? She's so inspirational for so many people, though.
She really
I'm
is.
just really pissed off that she killed Cobain.
Do you think she did?
I don't know. I don't really know. But
That's a whole
what
other
they say,
segment.
right? Yeah.
That's a whole other segment.
No, I'm fine with her. It's just not up my alley. But no,
Yeah.
I meet so many people, especially women,
Mm-hmm.
musicians that are just intensely inspired by her music and her vocal style and whatnot. And
I'm totally.
Paige Kopp has got to be a huge fan.
Yeah.
I hear Courtney Love and Paige Kopp's voice all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Paige's. She was
You are?
one of my first musical guests on 610.
Was she?
14, 15 years old.
That's amazing.
Matt brought her in. Matt's sitting over, he's standing in the corner of the studio. He says, she doesn't even get how cool this is. Like, she thinks that she's entitled, like, this is just how everyone gets these breaks. Like,
Right.
she doesn't realize how special it is. And
Oh.
that's what I love about Paige. But, yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
You hear that smokiness in the voice in Paige Kopp, for sure.
You do, yes. I played Gutless by Hole and Pieces of Jennifer's Body. Before that, I played It's Only Rock and Roll by Billy Joel.
Hmm.
What's the matter with the crowd? I'm
One of
singing.
my first songs in 45
Love that
back in
jam.
the day. Yeah, great time.
And you should see Jim's socks right now. What's the matter with the socks Jim's wearing?
They're polka dots.
They're polka dots. They're stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have this up on YouTube later. I'm gonna put
Are we?
my socks up on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're gonna
It's all
edit
about
the
the
videos
socks.
down, and then you're gonna see the behind the scenes workings of the Viz Show.
Yes, you're tuned into the Viz Show. I got Jim Fannon here. It's a beautiful Sunday. Happy Sunday to everybody who's tuned in right now. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, we're Jim. You're a huge supporter of the Niagara local scene.
Mm-hmm.
All the music, all the musicians, like you just mentioned, Paige Kopp, and I've been around it from the Niagara Music Awards, and that's how we met.
That's true.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
I started doing the Niagara Music Awards in 2009, 8.
Yep.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you were a host for us
Yeah.
quite a few times.
Actually, if you listen to our show, it's on iTunes. If you search Aaron's name, the full name, on iTunes, you'll come up with a couple shows, the Jim Fannon Show, where it's the old 610 content.
Yes.
And so I continuously give love to Lisa and Clark Bitter because they hooked me up with so much of the talent, right? So, and they played on the couch at Batter Up. So all these bands like Book for Wanderers, Botting, I'm a huge fan of Botting's. And
He's
then
great.
We had Black Flies in when Black Flies was actually a band, and I continue to perpetuate this rumor that they're getting back together, even though I just made that up. It's a complete lie, but I think one day they will be back together. I just love the Black Flies. Great band. So
Yeah.
Jay Foreign came in and he laid a CD on me. It was Color and Light by Aaron Berger, and he said, Aaron wants you to have the CD. I'm like, who's Aaron? And then I put the disc in my deck, and it didn't come out for 6 months. And
6 months?
yeah, I just
A relationship with
it's
Aaron
just-
Berger's CD?
Yeah,
Wow.
Color and Light is a
Did you tell him that you
fantastic
dated that
album.
long?
Yeah. And it's cool because you have kind of a love affair with this music, right? And
Yeah.
you know, my favorite song when I first heard it, I was totally blown away when I heard St. Catherine's in a song, and then I looked down deck and it said in St. Catharines, Aaron Berger. I'm like, oh wait, the song's called In St. Catharines, not just in the song. It's a song, it's a love song about the community of downtown St. Catharines when you live there. And so that was my favorite jam. So I started on track 3, which is In St. Catharines.
Yep.
And then it would go, so I missed song 1 and 2 all the time because I always started on 3. So I wore the hell out of In St. Catharines. And then 5, 6, and 7, I think Let It Roll is track 5. And I can't remember what 6 and 7 are. Then I wore those out. And then you go back to Calgary, which is song 1. I never listened to song 1 and 2 because I was always starting at track 3 and then playing it all the way through. And then you get sick of the whole album. And then it goes up on the shelf for 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, Color and Light, I haven't heard that. And then you put it back in it, and it's like this, it's like getting back with an old girlfriend.
Yeah.
The love affair starts all over again. And so Jay Foran, thank you very much. Clark Bitter and Lisa was actually booking the show. She was like doing all the talent and all the bookings. And so Jay said, here you go. This is Aaron. And then we had Aaron come on. He brought in Matthew James Blake and Nathaniel Gould. And they played in Greg Campagna studio. So he'd mic them all up with 2 mics. And then they'd play in and out of the commercials. So I just have a huge, deep love
for the passion.
Yeah, I love all these guys and girls, the local bands, and the greatest thing is that you think it's like Jay Lupish, right? He's just he's a movie maker in St. Catharines, and you think when he makes a movie, it's going to look like the Beachcombers. It's going to look cheesy. It's going to look cheap. The actors and everything, and it's nails. And then Aaron Berger, you think, okay, it's going to sound like they recorded in the garage. No, the album is intensely well mixed.
The production of the album, yeah.
And so I'm just like, I've got a lot of time for the local acts, and we had a bunch of them in. I remember when Bodding came in. He came in with James Underwood, and Bodding's. There's not a man with more swagger in the local music scene than Bodding, in my opinion. I get kind of like a man crush on him.
Jim's wearing a Bodding t-shirt right now.
I do have one.
It's a bodysuit.
I did a whole show on the other day with the Book for Wanderers shirt on, and it's cool because I think it's got a picture of his mom at Marineland with the deer. That's it. Anyway, so got a lot of time for Bodding and all the music. So yeah, we had a really good thing going there. Met a whole bunch of people, and then I've had a bunch of them on the show too. So. And we kind of, Matthew James Blake is like my Brendan Schaub to Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. Like when I don't have a guest, Matt will come in and we'll just talk and play. So we'll do a couple of that maybe before we're done here. We'll put a song on and then talk a little bit about it. I got a few loaded up here. Jim doesn't have a studio album yet, so I'm gonna play some U2. I think it's a cover, but. Maybe we'll start out with Matthew James Blake. Intensely talented.
Yes.
I always say to Matthew, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're ripping someone off here somehow. It's like, I don't know, like this sounds like Marvin Gaye. This sounds like Stevie Winwood. This sounds like whoever. But it's like, I accuse him of like stealing a format because like I got Make Me Say here. It's a laid back tune, very acoustic. Like it sounds so good and so familiar. I can't believe that this is actually your song. Like you didn't rip it from someone or the melody or whatever. It's just, they're that good. I mean,
they find they have these studios too that they live at and work at, and it's just such a passion for them. Like. Nathaniel Gould and all those guys, Aaron Berger.
A lot of talent on the production side too.
Yeah, like it's all about
work now.
It's all about the production, I believe too.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, you expect like to hear some like silly little, sound when you put the CD in, but it's crisp. It's it's good. Do you want to listen? We should play something.
Yeah, so Matthew James Blake, this is one of my favorites. It's called Make Me Say. I'm just listening to it on Bandcamp, and that's the great thing about a lot of these musicians is...
It's all online.
Yeah, you can buy it online. You can also listen to it free. So, I like to,
I always appreciate though the good old here's my CD.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they don't
it's
do
less
that
common
anymore.
now. Less common.
I remember when I lived in Toronto, actually, Botting. I did this interview with Botting for my friend Sammy for Music 10, and so I asked Botting if I could interview him, and he mailed his CD to me and said thank you for the interview and everything like that.
Cool.
And it's so cool even to like get mail, like a CD in mail.
Yeah.
Or like
Somebody sent me
it's a
something.
package.
Yeah.
It's a package.
Yeah, Botting's one of my favorites. We're gonna play Breach from his album
Okay.
later on, and I think Standish does the guitar solo on it. And I'm like, dude,
He's so talented.
Yeah, I mean, there's another guy that's just intensely talented, and he's got a going away party coming up soon. Or did I
He's
miss it?
actually turning 40.
Oh, is that it?
It's his it's a birthday
Okay.
shindig.
Oh,
for-
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna go to that if I have the time. I'd
Well,
check it
I'd
out.
like to make them all, but like Roadways had a party last night. It's 11 to 2. It's a G's birthday party at
Did you-
G.
Oh, yeah.
G sharp. And it's his birthday party at the Merchant Ale House, my
Okay.
hometown, downtown. And Scotty called me the other day. He says, "He's going to G's thing tonight." I'm like, dude, I need to be at like I'm up tomorrow at 5:45 in the morning. So I can't be out till 2 o'clock, and I can't be drinking, so I don't want to feel like balls in the morning. Like it's just, so I miss that. I miss a lot of the late night things, but there's a lot of bands out there like Jen will play
Yeah.
afternoon gigs, and they're intensely talented. She's, I can't take my eyes off her. She's just incredible.
Summer's a good time to catch them all too, right?
Mhm.
They do their outdoor stuff and they have their parties. And yeah.
So Make Me Say by Matthew James.
Let's do
Blake.
it.
Right, let's
Got
do
it?
All right. I think we're heading up.
There we go.
Lights on.
So this is Matthew James Blake.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Make Me Say. Yeah, he's fucking talented.
Good stuff, Jim. That was local musician Matthew James Blake with Make Me Say.
Make Me Say, Matt James Blake.
That was
That's one of my
lovely.
favorites there. Heaven's a pretty good tune too. He's got so much soul, just such a natural voice. And he says he doesn't play guitar very well, but I love it. And he does a little acoustic, percussion on it. And he plays with Aaron Berger and the Blue Stars. Also Berger, Blake and Gould.
It's
and
all
you can
that.
catch them around, they're playing, I don't know, there's some place they're playing in Fort Erie here and there. Aaron just launched a brand new CD. I wish I could think of the name of it now.
Did
It'll come
he?
in-
Good for him.
Yeah, Joe Lipinski recorded it at
Okay.
Oddfellows Pop-Up Studio. I think, no, they recorded it in the shed. Joe's an unbelievable engineer and producer.
Yeah.
And so they released it, a really good showing at Oddfellows. And they had Oscar Anderson Short Drifter open up.
Ooh.
Wow, that kid can sing, man. We should pull up some of his stuff too if I can
We
find it.
should.
And just Danielle on violin. They brought up.
That's lovely.
I can't remember. They brought up somebody from stage to sing as well. But no, it was a really nice room, a really good event. And actually, I put a bunch of clips of. Drifter did this mouth, like the mouth trumpet. Yeah. So he broke into the mouth trumpet,
I'm
like
pretty good at
into
that.
the second verse, and the whole audience just broke down and laughed, giggling, right? Because you don't expect it.
That's awesome.
One guy, he's got a beautiful voice. Like you take Dallas Green and then step it up a little, like he's that good. Like he's got such a pure voice. And I'm working on a date to have him on the show. Actually, I don't want to jinx it yet, but he did commit to coming on the show. So we'll talk. We'll play a song a lot. He'll play a song live. Then we'll talk some more. Play another live song.
Sure.
And Drifter, Oscar Anderson Short, just a brilliantly talented. There's so much of it, and
Mm-hmm. They actually are talented though.
mhm.
Like the talent is
Yeah. You
talent.
don't gain success usually without having some backbone talent in you.
Yeah.
Speaking of talent, my son the Hurricane, Daniel O'Shea is the business end of the Hurricane. He runs the book, like he runs
Yeah.
the band, and there's 13 people in the band, and they're very unique, and their album You Can't Do This comes from somebody saying you can't do that. Like they call them the blood, sweat, and tears of hip hop. Rage Against the Machine with
funk.
Rage Against the Machine with a brass section type of thing. And he was the one that told me, dude, I've been around. He's traveled quite a bit, and we have a really deep pool of talent here in Niagara that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. And I didn't really get that. Like maybe Nashville, maybe there's pockets where there's a lot of people, but natural, organic, local talent.
That's right. Like people stay here. They don't like Nashville has amazing talent. A lot of people move to Nashville.
Right.
Like these are people that have lived in Niagara their whole lives and have been here and have created this beautiful music scene, and they're all friends and they all hang out together and play.
They support each other, go to each other's shows.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's so great.
Yeah. So
fabulous.
With that said, if we want to lead into Aaron Berger, this is from Color and Light.
I have that album. It's beautiful.
Isn't it great? Color and Light. Oh, let's go down to, let's see. My City's My Stage.
St. Catherine's.
Yeah? You want to hear St.
Well,
Catherine's?
you were talking about it, so it made me want to listen to it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
So
Here we
see if
go.
this loads up. Wrapping up.
That was Breach by Anthony Botting. That was pretty heavy.
Vicious. And
Vicious.
Rod Standish on lead guitar there. I've got a little bit
Both
of
Rod
boy crush on
and
Botting, and I'm like,
and
dude,
Anthony
that
are
guitar
slayers.
solo is awesome. He goes, it's Standish. I go, get out of here.
They're guitar slayers. They are.
And Standish is one of those sleepers that you see he plays everything. Are we still playing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome back to the bottom, backup music.
Yeah.
Standish is one of those sleepers that he plays everything, and then you don't realize that he can actually wail. Like you see him playing his acoustic guitar, and that's fine. Like lots of people can play acoustic guitar, but then you don't know he can just make an electric guitar sing like crazy. So
They're slayers.
yeah, Bottom's one of my favorites, and so generous to me. I mean, even when I was with the Green Party, when I launched my Green Party campaign at Montebello Park, I can't remember what year that was, 2008, I think it was. He showed up, like he shows up for everything. I'm like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
And usually, like if I'm running a federal election, you can give tax receipts for performances. So if you play, you bill me, and I give you a tax receipt, and then you file your tax receipt. So like if you bill me $500 for performance fee, then I give you a donation receipt. It's like you gave the party $500.
Wow.
Because it's your performance, it's a donation, and then you get $375 back in your taxes. So anytime I'm able to give back, because normally there's no funds to pay the guy cash to come out, but at least you can get some money back from the government, from the subsidization of political parties like we do. So I've asked, he's never said no to me. I've said, dude, I'm doing I want you to open acoustic, I want you to feature, we've done a couple shows at Sessions on the River. He's played twice for me there. Played in the pavilion.
He's a player.
The gazebo at Montebello Park. He did three songs and just so generous. He's never said no. And the first time I met him was at 610, and I'm telling you, him and James Underwood walked in that place, and especially Botting. He's got the swagger of like Elvis. Just walks in like he owns the place. He's walking around the green room, which is the kitchen. He's walking around. He'd work in the, we used to call it the space, because this coffee machine that would make anything, chocolate, cappuccino, anything. Anyways, I remember saying to these guys, who are these guys? Swagger. Like just dripping in swagger. So I love Botting, and he's been very generous, and he's always a good guy. He's always remembers.
Botting, you have a fan.
Yeah,
and it's Jim Fannon.
Huge fan of Botting's. And you know what? There's lots of guys and girls with swagger. I mean, look at Jen. All right, what's it'll come to me. What's Nicole? Her Instagram, she's cruising up to like 100,000 people following her Instagram account. All she does is play guitar. like all she does is play guitar. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mean all she does. I can't play guitar, so it's a feat just to do that. But
Yeah.
and I think women somehow have this niche, especially in Instagram. If you can play guitar, and you know, like I'm sure there's lots of guys out there that play guitar as well or better that don't have the following that she does. So she's got something, the it thing going.
Yeah.
And they're solid, man. I've never seen a 3-piece band sound so full before. So, and they play a lot around town, and I'm really anxious. Yeah, I'm really anxious for them to put down a studio album because they do covers very well, and I've got something loaded up here on YouTube that we can listen to. But their original stuff is nails. Like she's really a good songwriter, a great guitarist, and then she's got that Janis Joplin kind of Courtney Love cross, smoky, raunchy, raspy voice.
I like that.
Yeah, I know you do. And
Well,
so,
I do.
speaking of smoky, raunchy, and raspy, that is not G sharp here, but what a talented kid, man. I was sorry I didn't get out there yesterday. G sharp here on guitar. He's the founder of the band. Writes most of the music.
For Roadway.
Roadways, yep.
Yeah.
Matt Maxwell on drums. Yo Z, I'll say it, Japanese name that I can't pronounce very well yet. And Don, I can't say your French name either. Leo March something. Donnie is on. Oh, jeez. You know, what did I? Oh, they were on CHCH Live Friday. They did like a full song. You can find it on Facebook. It's a song I haven't heard before. And Don, of all the people, like G shines, obviously. He sings and plays guitar like a witch, especially the guitar part. The vocals, man, he's come a long way on his vocals too. But of all people, the keyboardist steals the show on CHCH Live. And maybe we should find that one to play later. But I've got Lighthouse loaded up here. And this one is called Back No More. Katie Gatta is, one of the lead vocalists on this song, and I just have a huge amount of time for Katie too. She's
great.
Beautiful. She's a great musician. She's a nice girl.
She's a
nice
girl.
She's got the complete package. Like I'm watching her at Taps, and I'm just, she booked quickly. Like she didn't hang around at Taps after. Even Eric was looking to pay her. He's like, "Did Katie say goodbye to you?" I'm like, "No, but why would she?" And he says, "Well, I'm looking for, like, she didn't take her money." I'm like, "Well, that's not like a musician." He says, "Well, I'll get a hold of her," but she booked her. But I'm watching her there, and I said to Eric, I said, she is the complete package as a musician. She's got the stage presence. She's knows
been doing it for a while.
She knows how to work with the audience. She's a good songwriter. She can play guitar.
She's comfortable.
Yeah, she's.
So what do you want to listen to? Some Roadways?
No, Roadways with Katie Gatta. This is called
Katie
Back
Gatta.
No More.
Back No More.
One of my favorites. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's hit it up.
Back No More.
Or am I getting one?
Oh,
The light cuts immediately. Did you put that on?
what?
The light cuts immediately. Did you put that on?
Reggae.
A little bit, yeah.
No one's in here, right? No, let's get some air.
Yeah, here. We're recording for an hour already. Seeing them live or seeing this song live
well, that would be
great.
fun live. It's a little groove tune. You know, it's got that like reggae, like
And that's the thing about
Or
road
Scott.
waves is they're never the same. They
Live.
never do a song the same.
Right.
Live, they're kind of like a Fish inspiration, a little Grateful Dead in there. Geez, a huge Fish fan. So apparently, I'm not a huge Fish fan, but
I'm a Grateful Dead fan.
they're a huge jam band. So you never you'll never hear that song done the same way. And Katie's so great, so generous about coming out that often if she's there, they'll put that song in the set, and she nails it every time. It's
Such a
huge
lovely
fan.
thing.
Huge
Such
fan.
a lovely thing we got going on here in Niagara.
Yeah,
With all these
definitely.
musicians.
Yeah.
Every single one has a spot and a place, and you will never not have a good time if you can catch them live. So go out and support them. Get their albums, download their music.
Hashtag Niagara Rocks.
Hashtag Niagara Rocks. I'm here with Jim Fannon here. You're tuned into the Viz Show on 4680Q. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day for a lovely day.
It's a beautiful day.
It's
Lovely.
a beauty day. Yeah. So
How
what's
many shows you done?
You know what? We're running into a year. Actually, September 17th. It's been
2
a
hours
year.
every week.
2 hours every Sunday. I've given and taken a few. I've had a couple people come in and cover for me. Actually, Chunk has done a couple for me. And actually this year lands on my birthday. August 25th is a Sunday. And so I'll be doing it on my birthday.
That was my show Sunday noon to 2.
Was it?
Yeah, that was my first show on well, not my first show on the radio, but my first show on 610.
Do you miss being on 610?
Oh, it started, I do. I missed the cadence, I missed the whole community, the newsroom, the producer,
The whole environment.
yeah, because it's pro. Like, I'm sitting in my basement with my iPhones hooked into an iRig, hooked into a couple, decent mics, but, and it's skid. It's budget, it's like when I say skid, I mean skid like in the Welland sense. Like, I grew up in Welland. When we went to Welland, that was the new word. We moved from St. Catharines to Welland. You're a skid. And everything was way too wicked. And I hadn't heard those. Anyways, so yeah, I look at my stuff. When I listen to my stuff on 610, I'm so proud of it.
Okay.
And when I watch my stuff
should
on
be.
YouTube, I hate it. I absolutely
Then why do you
hate,
do it?
seeing myself. Well, because I don't know, there's
You need
something that just
something.
keeps pulling me
You need to
there.
be connected.
I only do, I haven't really gone rogue on monologues. I think I should more often and have a regular schedule of here's what I think about this and just go, 10-minute rant.
What kind of people do you want on your...
That's all I've been having is, I used to have regional council when they were really the topic of conversation on, when Petrowski was on, and I had Mike Britton, he was a city councilor, and, I had Dave Barrick on, he was a lightning rod. I had some people that people just
Must
hate
get
it.
fiery.
Yeah, it does.
Do you guys
but when
argue?
you're just sitting with them, it's fiery from the comments, but when you're sitting with a guy like Dave Barrick, I like Dave Barrick. I don't like everything that he's done in his career or how he got his jobs or all that kind of stuff, but he stood up for the things I was in favor of and stuff like that. So I've gotten away from the politicians and not for any other reason than just because no one will talk to me anymore. No, and I just stuck
That's
with
not
it. I'm just, it's been hard to get the left on. I can get the conservatives, they'll come out and talk to me, but the lefties don't want to talk to me for whatever reason. I'm not sure exactly why. I could name names. I have a list of lefty politicians that have just, we go back and forth, talk. You want to come on the show? Gone. No, I said, do you want? No, gone. Like, not even a response. So I've been, I've had Jihad, G Sharp Yahia on. Matthew James Blake is my Brendan Schaub, so he fills a hole. He's actually going to be on today. I don't know if I'll do a podcast, but my guest is going to help engineer, so he'll be in the background. I had Jesse Stewart on. Jesse Stewart, have you ever seen this kid? He's looks like he comes straight from the trailer. He looks like a homeless drunk.
Oh, that's...
And he mashes. I said, looks like it. I mean, he's just like,
That's
he's weird. He's got a bald head up to here and then a full ponytail. Like, he's bald. Like,
rad.
seriously, like, he's weird. Like, and then just
That's gnarly.
filthy,
Gnarly.
talented. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just smashes a mandolin. And it's this folk punk. I don't know what it is, but
I appreciate folk
one of my
punk.
fans, I think Elliot Nelson, is it maybe? He's a Facebook friend, and he said, dude's coming to town, he's playing the Detour Music Hall. You need to have him on, he'd be really good to have on. So I got in touch with his people, and lo and behold, he said, yeah, and then there was a problem. I had to go pick him up, and then it was not a big deal. I picked him up, brought him to the studio. Anyways, brought him to the studio, and
Hey, it's a studio.
and he's got like his I can't name the songs right now. They're not on the tip of my tongue. Maybe I'll pull one up later. But it's 6 million views on YouTube.
No way.
6 million, yeah.
6 million.
So and he's got a bunch of songs that are 4, 5, and 6 million views. Like I get a few hundred here and there, and I can pull them up. And so it was really cool because he's got a big Facebook following too. Nothing on Twitter. It's YouTube is huge, and then Facebook is huge. So when I posted the video on Facebook, he shared it, and it blew up. It was like at 5,000 views like in a week.
No.
And for me, that's way more than I usually get.
Right.
On a good show, I'll get 1,000 views. But you know those people are only coming in for a minute here and there. That's not actual views, you know what I mean? Like
It's
at
all
least
about the views. Is that what people
and
want
those
these
are cheap
days?
views,
Is
and that's
that-
why I'm glad we didn't go live on Facebook.
But is that what it comes down to
Yes.
these days?
Yes, it's all about
views?
the
Hey, that's so
yeah,
interesting.
views, subscribers, shares, and all that kind of stuff. So,
All right.
anyways, he made a mess. It was awesome, and yeah, so we just talk and play and talk and play and talk and play, and then so my YouTube videos, they do pretty well with Jesse on it, but because he's got such a big following on the Facebook, when he put it up there.
Do you have some of his music?
Yeah, well, you can see it on my show. Yeah, we can play a song from my show, but
His full name is
Jesse Stewart.
Stuart. And he's
Yeah. He's out west, BC, Vancouver maybe.
J Stu?
Huh?
Is it J Stu?
No, Jesse,
Oh,
Jesse.
okay.
I can load it up for you, but I'd rather, well, actually, the songs that he played on my channel, if you go to the Jim Fannon Show, or it's just Jim Fannon on YouTube, are actually the audio, like I'm getting better at the audio, but it's just 2 mics, so, but actually he played a couple tunes that sound really, really good on my system. But
Wicked.
I'm wandering. I want to get some gin out though,
Okay.
before we go to some obscure music. I
Okay.
want to get some more local out, and this is a cover. Heard it through the grapevine.
All right.
It's J.I.N. No period. Okay, so this is very specific.
Okay.
And if you talk to, it stands for Joe, Ivan, Nicole.
Ah.
But Joe is very specific about, and their
Okay.
brother and sister. He's about 25. She's probably 19 or 20 now.
Okay.
She's
Let's
a
listen to
thief
it.
on guitar. So yeah, this is a cover, but you'll like it. Here we go.
That was killer.
Yeah, Jesse Stewart, man, what a talent! What an absolute brilliant talent! And thanks to Elliot Nelson. I'm pretty sure on my Facebook he was the guy that says you gotta get this guy in. He's folk punk, and we had a really good conversation. He was a nice kid. I say kid, he's not a kid, but huge following. And so that was actually from my YouTube channel where he played in my studio. We had him mic'd up pretty good, except when he hit that high note there, he redlined it. Other than that, so been very fortunate. But if you've got somebody that wants to get a spot, that needs a little pub, Oscar Anderson Short Drifter, you're on the clock, dude. I need a date from you so we can do a little show. But if you know someone that wants to play in Chunk, hey, Chunk said he was going to come on the show.
He should. He's
About a year
an
and a half
amazing
ago,
talent. He's so talented.
About a year and a half ago, he said, hey, I'm looking to do a podcast. Any ideas? And I'm like, dude, let's do it. And so I need to reconnect with him. But if there's anyone listening out there,
I'll get you in touch with Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I will.
keep me in mind if you ever go on vacation again. I'd love to sit here for a couple hours and just play CD. Oh, Carl David, we could just get some his stuff on here too. But so, I mean, we can't, I've played a bunch, Theater Chris, My Son the Hurricane, there's so many bands that we could play. The guys first on my list was just the ones that I know that I can go to on Bandcamp to get up on the Viz Show. So
That's fabulous. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing all this.
Yeah, no, that's great. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're just having like a Niagara,
Love
fiesta
fest.
here.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Jim.
Yeah.
You can come on my show anytime. I have actually next week. I think I have the Treetops coming on. They're from St. Catharines.
Oh, yeah.
They just did a tour, and I saw them at the warehouse, and they're awesome.
A local band opened. Is it Paige?
Sunrise Stereo.
Stereo Sunrise?
Stereo Sunrise.
Yeah, there's another great band, and so generous. Those boys have been so generous to me. There's another band that almost every time I ask them, they show up and play, and they've got a really, really nice sound about them. Clean sound.
Yeah.
Stereo Sunrise. And do they have a new album out? Did you see their show? When they opened for the Treetops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was
They're
awesome.
a talented band for sure.
They are. And there was another band.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's weird that when you're on the
My
mic.
memory.
Is it weird how when you're on air and you have the mic in front of you,
Something
your brain
leaves
just
you.
goes away. You
Yeah.
can't recall things like it's. I don't know.
I
what
feel
it
you
is.
on that. I feel you on that. I'm names. I talk about it all the time. I forget names.
Yep.
But yeah. So I mean, the summer. We're just in the middle of the summer. There's a lot of shows happening. Like there's the Punkadoodle Doo happening here at Taps next door with, the Creep Show, the Lucky Ones.
The Creep Show without Sarah.
Without Sarah, yeah.
Yeah,
She
was
hasn't
amazing when
been
she
in
was
the Creep Show in a long time, but
Halloween's one of my favorite tunes the Creep Show does.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a female lead singer?
I believe they do.
Yeah.
I believe it's her sister or something.
Oh.
Or was she the sister of the main? I can't remember. But that's going to be cool. Look, we got the poster right here. Punkadoodle Doo. I think tickets are still on sale. It's like $40 at the door. And Forgotten Rebels, the Mahomes, the Creep Show, the
Lucky Ones, Lord Stumble. I love the
Heart
Lucky
Attack
Ones. They're
Kids,
true.
Charles J. Hunk, The Shipwreck, The Letdowns, Paige Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The Lucky Ones
advanced
are one of
tickets
the
are
last.
$35 and at the door is $40. And it's going to be pretty cool.
Cool. Okay, can we get one more out? Oscar Anderson short?
We sure can.
Okay, so let's do this. It's 4 minutes.
Okay.
Drifter. This one's called Oiled Up. And I think this is when he does his vocal trumpet. His
Ooh,
mouth
yeah, let's get that.
Okay.
That's pretty good, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
good. It's fine.
Okay, that trumpet was from his mouth. I can't believe it. Okay, wait, listen to mine, okay? Ready? His was amazing. This is mine. That was pretty
I
good.
do the Sanford and Son.
Or I could do The Cure, like, what's The Cure one with the trumpet?
And that was from my YouTube channel as well. And I'm kind of getting better at placing the mic, so you might hear a little too much room noise there because I only had limited, and I'm kind of getting better at it. Just placing the mic is really important. But that was live, recorded from my iPhone with a couple of mics through the iRig, just the way we do the podcast. So.
Yeah, and then I'll play a song or two. That was the Treetops.
Welcome back. I'm Jim Fannon. You're on the Viz Show.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Byzantine.
Hey now.
I'm here with Jim Fannon.
And I had my freaking thing recording. I forgot to put it on airplane mode, and this is what happens when you're a geek and you're a basement cellar broadcaster. If you don't remember to put it on airplane mode, the first call that you get,
Yep, and someone will call you.
boots you off and stops your recording. So I'm not sure exactly what I got. I got the first hour. Well, we
Okay.
start an hour of.
Good stuff.
Yeah, well, I got mostly Yeah. Anyway, so.
Well, we got what we got. Okay. This is what happens when it's live. Anything can happen. All right. Anything.
Yep. And I always tell people when they used to come on the show, the radio show, you say you cannot screw this up. Like there's live radio. If you fell off your chair or your phone rings or whatever, it's just better radio.
Yeah.
So you can't screw it up. And today we had a new girl on Pro Presenter, so she puts all the lyrics up for the songs and overlaps, it layers over the video. I'm like, she's nervous, right? I said, don't be nervous. Yeah. Even if you screw everything up, it just makes for learning. People like it. They're just like, oh look, it's been on the same lyric for a while. At least it's something to talk about.
That was something I learned starting this. Was I was nervous and I was like, I can't screw it up. Every time I would, miss a time or something, I would be so nervous. But now I enjoy it. I do because it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just natural.
Yeah.
Things happen. You can't get upset about it. You just go with it.
And it's entertaining. The screw-ups are, everyone wants to see the bloopers.
Right?
Yeah, that's the...
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see the bloopers. So.
All right. Well, Jim, you know what? It's been... This has gone by really fast.
2 hours.
I just want to thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Sharing
all these It was good to see you at Taps, and that's...
Yeah.
I'm like, look at you snap back into shape after the baby. You look great.
Thank you.
It was good to see you. I had, I was following JV Pro Sound, or Pro Audio.
That's right.
And I was shadowing, and he showed me how he wires all this stuff up, and I desperately want to learn how to run a board, like an audio board.
Yes.
And so he was going to let me shadow him that day, and I'll see if I can get some more dates with him. But and then I'd love to be able to show up with my mics and my iPhone and get it to sound almost like it's studio quality. Just be able to capture some live musicians, even though I'd go to more of the shows if I knew that I could come back with some quality live performances. So.
Well, I could always have them in here too. You guys can come in.
Yeah.
And we can record it here.
Yeah, it's a great space.
Live. It is. It's a cool space, eh?
Yeah. So it was good running into you, and thanks to Taps for having their 10th birthday party, and Eric Martin's been a huge supporter as well.
Insane.
Got a lot of time for that guy, and just they've always had a huge commitment, and it's certainly you don't do it for the money. Like these local bands are pulling lots of drinkers in to make lots of money. So there's a balancing act there that you've got with Eric, where he's just committed to local music, and
he really is. He utilizes his space to the full potential and more. And someone like that who has that whole lot, he has the outside stage, he has the inside stage. He really knows. He's in a band too, right? So. He just, you got to get the right people in the right places.
How did I know he was a drummer?
He is the right person.
You can spot a drummer from 100 yards.
You can.
Yeah. Just like
how?
You can spot a lead singer too. Oh yeah, there he is. They all look like David Lee Roth. No,
well, thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go out with some music. I'm gonna go out with a song that came on during Mandy and I's road trip. It's not a new song.
Big Shot again?
By any means. It's not but this was like one of those moments when you're in the car and the song gets better and better, and you listen to it and you're like, this is my jam. Okay? All right. I don't have to say anything about it. I don't have to say anything about it.